These things will be studied. Clear? And coming to last unit and the easiest among all units, that will be operational amplifier. You can use the amplifier IC741 in order to use for different applications like multiplication, subtraction, addition, like that, different mathematical operation. Hence the name came like operational amplifier. These are the 5 units we will be studying. And regarding the textbooks, you can prefer the online textbook, if any available. I will send you through email, and if you are able to find that through the internet sources, you can find it online. The main subject topics will be available in this textbook. Third one, electronic devices and circuit by Robert Bolstead and Nachalski. And the second one is A.S. Setter and Casey Smith, Oxford University. These two books are sufficient for your first 4 units. And regarding last unit, this is the best book for last unit. The 7th one, Op-Amps Linear and Linear Integrated Circuit by Ramakant A. Gaikwad. Prentice Hall Publications. These 3 books are sufficient for your analog electronics. Meanwhile, I will be sharing you the lecture notes also. You don't need to worry about that. And if you are sufficient, if you are able to listen class carefully and taking notes, then there is no need of going to its textbooks also. The lecture notes which I am providing, that will be sufficient for your exam as well as your future competitive exams. So most of the things that will be here regarding the last year midsem exam to solution is also uploaded. This is not needed right now. You can revise it later. You can look at it later. So regarding class schedule, that will also be mentioned in the Moodle here. Class 1, class 2, class 3, like that. The same, just click on the link by going through the Moodle, you can directly will be transferred to the corresponding thing. And the most important thing before starting any subject will be at the end of the subject, suppose after 30 lectures or 35 lectures or 40 lectures, what you will be getting as outcome from this course, particular course. That will be like this. The first course outcome may be you are classifying, you should be able to classify different semiconductor diodes and their characteristics after studying the complete first unit. And you can interpret the operation of bipolar junction transistor, that is BJT, in different configurations, nothing but CE, CC, CB, that you will be studying in second unit. And you can observe the frequency response of common amplifier circuits. We'll be discussing in the virtual lab also. Most of these topics covered as you have analog electronics lab also. So the same things which we'll be discussing theoretically, you can same execute using the virtual lab techniques. The same we'll be discussing in the virtual lab also. So whenever you have lab, that is on Wednesday, you have from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. In that session, we'll be discussing all the possible experiments which can be done virtually using the internet. Okay. And the fourth one regarding hybrid model of transistor, we'll be studying in the third unit in transistor amplifier, transistor as an amplifier. And last two course outcome may be on negative feedback amplifier circuit in oscillator, will be on fourth unit. And the last one is you can able to design op-amp circuits to perform arithmetic operations. Suppose if I want to perform addition or subtraction, or I want to add those two circuits. Suppose if I want to add any operation, mathematical operation, that can be done by using amplifier. These are the expected outcomes after completion of your course. And same you have regarding the lab also. So regarding the lab, we'll discuss in the lab session itself. So for this, we'll stick to only course. So coming to the subject, if you have any idea about analog electronics, you can share. What do you know about analog electronics? What do you mean by analog electronics? Before that, what is electronics? What do you mean by electronics? You can interact. The class should be from two way. It should not be like from one way. I'm telling on you, just listening blindly. Speak out whatever you know. This is not any Viva session. You can speak freely. What do you mean by electronics? I hope you might have studied in first year basic electronics. You know what is electronics.
सर हाँ सर, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से कुछ भी ऐसा होता है जैसे कोई इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है, उसको आप टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ कंबाइन करके या कुछ भी मीन्स कंप्यूटेशन के साथ मतलब जिसमें केवल कंप्यूटर टाइप वो आए, तो वो चीज़ है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स। जैसे अपने वॉशिंग मशीन होती है या फिर और भी जो भी ऐसे इक्विपमेंट्स होते हैं उनको सर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में कर सकते हैं। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मतलब कुछ थियोरेटिकल फंडामेंटल जैसा हो जाए, जैसे बेसिक फिजिक्स होती है कि अंदर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कैसे काम करते हैं उस चीज़ को। बाकी जब उसकी मतलब वो ली जाती है, एप्लीकेशन ली जाती है, जब इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की एप्लीकेशन लेते हैं तो उसे हम मतलब इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में डाल सकते हैं, ऐसा कुछ।
Good try. Any other? Speak out. Speak out.
ये सर, जिससे किसी इलेक्ट्रॉन के फ्लो को हम लोग रोक सके, ऐसा।
Good, good. I'm just a basic definition. Stick to the basic definition first. Electronics. Any other?
Sir, electronics new electricity का लोड लेता है और जो बाइनरी वर्जन पर काम करता है, 0-1 कंप्यूटर बेस्ड होता है और उसमें पैसिव एलिमेंट नहीं।
Any other?
सर एक ऐसा ब्रांच जो
ऐसा ब्रांच जो
इलेक्ट्रिक सर्किट बनाने से डील करता हूँ।
और कोई?
Sir, electronic study of devices which work by electricity.
What is electronics? If you divide this is electron plus mechanics. Mechanics, what do you mean by mechanics? In simple word, it is a motion. The motion of an electron. Motion of an electron in either a semiconductor device or any device. The motion of an electron is nothing but electronics. What is analog electronics? What is analog electronics? Analog is a signal which you might have observed analog devices. Have you done any experiment in basic electrical lab? Have you used voltmeter and ammeter? Do you have analog watch? Did you see analog watch?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between an analog watch and digital watch?
सर डिजिटल 0-1 पे वर्क करता है और एनालॉग में साइन कर्व कॉस कर्व टाइप की वर्क करता है।
Can you tell me one basic difference that in which analog device or I can tell the precise time. Suppose if I want to tell precise
Sir,
time,
डिजिटल से
सर एनालॉग सिग्नल से वर्क करता है एक्चुअली, और जो डिजिटल होता है वो
सर जो
what is digital? What is
हाँ सर
analog?
जो डिजिटल होता है सर, वो जो एनालॉग जो रीडिंग, जैसे बेसिकली जो एनालॉग होता है
Can you
वो
tell me?
कितनी जब बाइंडिंग हो रही है तो उस पर डिपेंड करता है, और जब उसी रीडिंग को हम डिजिटल फॉर्म में जब लेते हैं एक्यूरेसी के साथ, जैसे हम रीड नहीं कर सकते सर, जैसे हम अगर सब एनालॉग देखेंगे, अगर आंखों से देखेंगे तो इतनी अच्छे से उसकी जो रीडिंग होगी उसको देख नहीं पाएंगे, लेकिन जब हम
बिल्कुल।
मीन्स कंप्यूटर फॉर्म में लेंगे तो उसको अच्छे से कर पाएंगे।
Okay. Actually, suppose if I want to tell the time like 6 hours, 10 minutes, 20 seconds, can I tell the same using analog watch or digital watch? Simple thing. The more precise can be done by using digital one, because there the seconds, this analog is your human eye, whatever it sees. There may be a minor error during the analog. Suppose if you take any voltmeter, you have seen multimeter. Have you used multimeter?
यस सर
Multimeter. What is the display? Analog or digital?
सर आई हैव डिजिटल वन
Digital. And have you seen the voltmeters, which are like
Yes.
some box type?
Yes.
Among these two, which one will give the accurate and precise value of that particular voltage or current you are measuring? Analog or digital one? Digital one, right? Digital one will give something like 10.20 or 10.30. That can be easily noted by using digital, because the display will be available there. Whereas if you're in analog, you will count the number of lines. Suppose if there is 10 lines between 10 and 20, you will count based on that, based on the needle where your pointer is moving. Based on that, you will count an approximate value that may not be exactly equals to the value that is being measured by the digital one. That is the basic difference between an analog and digital signal. In analog, the signal will be continuous. Suppose if you take a sinusoidal signal, what is the shape of your sinusoidal signal? Continuous, right? From 0 to t, your analog signal, suppose if you are taking sinusoidal signal, it will be continuous. Suppose if I want to find the amplitude at this particular point, if I want to find the amplitude at this particular point, you can easily find the value, but it may not be exactly equals to the thing which you can find in this type of signal, like discrete signal. Discrete signal is the type of digital signal. Suppose these are your digital signal. The same sine wave is expressed like this. Now, if I want value here, I can easily get whatever the value here because of this discrete signals. Whereas if you are taking analog signals, you cannot precisely tell at which time what is the amplitude of that particular signal. It may have some sort of error. There is a basic difference between your analog as well as digital signal. Clear? Now in the analog electronics, we'll talk only about analog devices. In analog devices, we'll be talking all those that will be covered like BJT, diode, etc. All those devices are called analog devices because they carry analog signal. Now coming to the first unit, we'll be talking on special diode. Before that, let me just revise simple basic of PN junction.
सर फिर यूज ही क्यों करते हैं एनालॉग को, जब डिजिटल उससे बेटर है तो फिर इसका यूज?
Because all the inputs you are getting in analog form only. In order to use digital, first you have to convert the signal to analog to digital. Each analog and as well as digital has separate advantages and disadvantages. but whatever the input signal you are getting, that signal is you are getting as direct continuous signal. That's why analog devices are used. Wherever the application that requires digital devices, in that devices there is a converter called analog to digital converter is used. Basically, by default, whatever the input you are getting is that is continuous, nothing but analog signal. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I hope. Let me just fast forwardly the device. Can you able to see the screen?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. Do one thing.
No,
Go
sir.
to my. Yes. Now you can see that. Now you can see that.
Yes, sir.
सर बैकग्राउंड वॉइस बहुत आ रही है सर आपकी.
Class check. And coming to here, just I will forward this fastly. What is this? What you are seeing on the screen?
PN junction diode.
PN junction. How many conditions are there? Forward bias as well as reverse bias. What is forward bias? What is reverse bias? Forward bias is the one where you will apply positive voltage to your P and negative to N. If it is an opposite one, minus to P and plus to N, that will be in reverse bias. Nothing but anode is connected to positive and cathode connected to negative will be in forward bias. Here, the external battery makes the anode more positive than the cathode because whole positive will be supplied here, and here it will be made negative compared to the this thing. Then the current flows from the direction of the arrow. If you can see, this is the flow direction of the current. Always diode, PN junction diode carries current from anode to cathode. Always current flows from anode to cathode, not from cathode to anode. So in order to flow the current from anode to cathode, this should be made more positive. In order to make this more positive, you are be connecting an external source or a battery, which will make this more positive, and the more ions will be injected here, and then your current starts flowing. You know basic idea how the PN junction diode works. And suppose if I make reverse connection, an external battery makes the cathode more positive in order to make here plus and here minus, and this will make cathode more positive. Nothing but already this is the majority carriers will be here electrons, and the majority carriers in this P will be holes. If this is made more positive, then it will be forward bias and the current will be going in this direction. If it is made more positive instead of this, then it will be reverse bias, and the junction between this will go on increasing. If you keep on increasing the reverse bias voltage, the more number of positive will be flown to the cathode. If more number of positive will be cathode, as the majority carriers are already electrons, and more positive will make the majority and this positive ions with the majority carriers to recombine and become neutral. That will lead to the reverse bias of this junction. That type of thing is called reverse bias condition, and the different thing is forward bias. Now, what happens in forward bias? What happens in reverse bias? In forward bias, as you already know, the current flows from anode to cathode. The magnitude of current will be in milliamperes during the forward bias condition, and the voltage VD, that will be across anode and cathode, that is denoted with VD. This VD will be greater than 0 volts, because if you take a silicon material as a manufacturing device for this diode, then the VD will be approximately 0.7. That voltage is called forward bias voltage. And in reverse bias condition, it will be taking the maximum voltage. In reverse bias condition, nothing but there will be minimum amount of current. That current will be in microamperes, or you can consider it as 0 amperes. The reverse voltage that will be appearing is same as that of the forward voltage, sorry, supply voltage. The supply voltage will be appearing across the diode in reverse bias condition, whereas the current will be 0 in reverse bias condition, whereas the current will be having certain magnitude in milliamperes in forward bias condition, and the voltage VD, or the forward bias voltage, when it is short circuited, just like a short circuit when it is, when the current is flowing, or when it is forward bias. Let me tell you this. See, when it is forward bias, this will be just like a short circuit. There is another screen that is presenting. You can see that screen instead of this one. Yeah. We'll be able to connect another screen here. When it is forward bias, it is just like a short circuit. Short circuit, nothing but it is voltage should be 0, but for the silicon material, it will be around 0.7, whereas for germanium, it will be around 0.3. That is the difference between silicon as well as germanium. Clear? And in reverse bias, maximum reverse voltage that will be appearing, that reverse voltage will be in the opposite of this bias voltage. Suppose if I am applying 10 volts, then the reverse voltage that will be appearing across this diode in reverse bias condition will be minus 10 volts, like that. Clear? And here it is mentioned VD is less than 0 volts. Less than 0 volts is nothing but the maximum voltage that will be appear. I hope you know, when it is in short circuit condition, voltage will be minimum and the current will be maximum. When it is open circuit, when anything that is open circuited, then you will have maximum voltage and almost 0 current. The same thing happens. In forward bias, it is just like acting like a short circuit with a forward voltage of 0.7 for silicon, 0.3 for germanium. In reverse bias, it is acting like an open circuit with a reverse voltage that is exactly same as your bias voltage. Whereas the current is almost zero, but practically it will be in microamperes. That is the difference between your forward as well as reverse bias. If you see the characteristics, if you draw the characteristics between voltage as well as current, as we have already discussed, for silicon, if you see the characteristics up to 0.7, the characteristics will be like this, and after 0.7, once this will remain as constant, there will be no further increase in voltage because the current will be increasing. So gradually, the current magnitude will increase at this point, but the voltage will remain as it is. This 0.7 voltage is the forward voltage of this diode. This voltage is also called as knee voltage or cut-in voltage, you can call it as. You can see this one. This is a forward barrier. This is called barrier. You can see the yellow part. This is called barrier or depletion region. Depletion region is a junction between the P as well as N. If you see here, the majority carriers, if you see the circle that are poles, and if you see this one, these are the negatively charged electrons. This will be minor. If you see the maximum majority in P region will be holes and the majority in N region will be electrons. If I apply negative potential here and positive potential here, if I apply negative potential here, positive potential here, if I apply negative potential is nothing but I am injecting more electrons. If I am injecting more electrons, already this region is having majority carriers as electrons. If I am injecting more electrons here, then the number of quantity or the magnitude of this electrons will further increase. If it is further increase and I am applying positive here, the minority carriers will be electrons and the majority carriers will be holes. And if I am applying positive means all the electrons will be sucked by this positive polarity. And here all the electrons will be injected into this region. Here all the electrons will be sucked by this positive polarity. And this becomes more positive and this becomes more negative. If this becomes more positive, then the current starts flowing from positive to negative. If the electron is moving from left to right, then the current direction will be from right to left. It will be an opposite direction. If you see the direction of electron, this is moving in this direction, nothing but from here to here. The electrons are moving from here to here. Then the current direction will be from here to here, and the current flows from P to N. As here, there is no question of occurrence of depletion region. You can say it as almost this voltage will be 0.7, very less voltage. If I am applying 10 volts, only 0.7 voltage will be the existing bit here in this as a barrier voltage. That barrier voltage is cut-in voltage for silicon, that is 0.7, whereas this barrier voltage will be 0.3 for germanium. This is the difference between. This is how the forward bias condition is there in the diode. I hope you have a rough idea about this in basic electronics itself. Just repeating the same thing. Now coming to the reverse bias. In reverse bias, what happens? You just change the polarity. If this is changed, this will be positive and this will be negative. If this is negative, more electrons will be injected here. As P region is already having bulk number of our majority carriers as holes, and the more electrons will be depleting here. More electrons here and more positive charge here. Negative, positive, negative, positive. That makes the size of the depletion region increase. If I increase the voltage, suppose if I apply 10 volts, then the depletion region size is this much. If you see the depletion region width between the previous one and this one, here the depletion region width is very less. And here if you see the depletion region is more. If I keep on increasing this bias voltage, If it is 10 volts, then the depletion region size width is this much. If I increase 12 volts or 14 volts or 16 volts, then the depletion region width goes on increasing. It will be splitting here from left side, and it will be shifting towards right side, and this makes the maximum voltage that that will appear across this junction. That maximum voltage is nothing but your reverse bias voltage. As this size or this width increases, at the width of the depletion region increases due to increase in reverse bias voltage, your there is no question of that is current flowing through from P to N. Almost there is negligible current that will be flowing, or zero current that will be flowing through this diode. This type of condition is known as reverse bias condition. In reverse bias condition, the depletion region width is directly proportional to the bias voltage. As you keep on increasing the bias voltage, then the width of the depletion region increases. The width of the depletion region increases, then there is a very less chance for flow of current from P to N. This is how your reverse bias voltage will work. The forward characteristics you have drawn from in the first quadrant. These are the characteristics. Now coming to the reverse bias characteristics, the characteristics will be in the third quadrant. The third quadrant, because the voltage is negative as well as the current is negative. If you are taking from flow of current from this to this as positive, then the opposite direction will obviously will be negative. The current, microamperes of current will be flowing from N region to P region here. That microampere current or zero current will be zero. This is called VBR. VBR is the maximum breakdown voltage. Every diode will be mentioned VBR on the nameplate. Suppose आप कोई 1N4007 if you take any diode, that reverse bias breakdown voltage that will be mentioned on the diode. Nothing but if I apply 20 volts, if once it is breakdown, once the breakdown occurs here, then the voltage stops increasing. This is the maximum voltage. If you see, VBR is larger. VBR is larger. Whereas if you see forward voltage, that is lesser. इसका size देखोगे आप 0 से 0.7. Whereas VBR is larger. This from the distance from here indicates there is a larger magnitude, something like -5 volts or -6 volts or -7 volts, like that. That once the breakdown occurs, then the current that will be there, that will be in microamperes. Suppose आपको 200 microamperes आया, तो उसका magnitude कितना हो गया? 0.002 ampere. That is almost negligible. That is how you will draw forward as well as reverse bias. If I combine both forward as well as reverse bias characteristics, I will get graph like this. This current is called leakage current. Leakage current is the current that is not needed, or the leakage that happens from the diode material. This leakage current will be in reverse bias condition. This forward current will be in forward bias condition. This voltage is called threshold voltage or knee voltage or cut-in voltage. This voltage is called breakdown voltage. Breakdown voltage given by VBR. These are the characteristics in reverse bias condition. These are the characteristics in forward bias condition. This is about your PN junction diode. Now we will mostly focus in the first unit on your special diodes. Other than the PN junction diode, whichever diodes are existing, we'll talk only about those diodes. First we'll be talking on LED, and next we'll be talking on varactor diode, photodiode, Schottky diode, tunnel diode. There is one more diode, that is Zener diode, that is not in your syllabus. I will be just revising that diode also under special diodes. That has peculiar characteristics like Zener background on avalanche breakdown. That topics needs to be discussed in analog electronics. Even though it is not in the syllabus, we'll be discussing those topics. and we'll be discussing the characteristics and applications of each diode and what actually is LED, what actually is directed diode. LED is the most familiar one you might have come across in daily basis, light emitting diode. And the next one is will be revising the half wave and full wave rectifiers, but you might have studied in your basic electronics without filters. You might have just basically basic rectifier you might have studied. Now in this subject we'll be discussing with filters. After applying a capacitive filter or inductive filter or any other filter, LC filter or CLC filter, what will be my response at the output? That we'll be discussing or more giving more focus on this topic. And next one we will be studying how will be the characteristics of diode. The normal PN junction diode characteristics just now we have discussed. We will not be repeating the same. We will discuss on BJT as well as MOSFET. How will be the characteristics of BJT and MOSFET? This is your, if these topics are completed, then your unit 1 will be completed. This is the procedure. As we have already discussed, you know how to, if you see, if you have given diode in the hand, turn off your mic, someone. Turn off your mics. And if you see, they given any diode, how can you recognize anode as well as cathode? If you see on the diode, there will be a white light. If you take a diode, the diode will be of color black, and there will be a white circle on the diode. That will indicate the cathode, and the remaining other part will indicate the anode. If I give you diode, in order to connect anode and cathode, you can recognize like this. There is a white circle you might have observed on the diode. That circle indicates your cathode, and the other part will be indicating anode. And you know anode is connected to P material and the cathode is a N material. What is ideal diode? Ideal diode is nothing but which is not having any forward voltage. As we have discussed, silicon as well as germanium having the forward voltage of 0.7 as well as 0.3 for germanium. The ideal diode is one which is directly short circuited in forward bias condition. Nothing but VD will be 0 in forward bias condition and ID will be maximum in forward bias condition. Whereas in reverse bias, VD will be exactly equals to the reverse voltage, that is our bias voltage which we are having, and it will be having zero resistance. Suppose if you see, we have connected one forward resistance. If you have observed in the forward bias, this forward resistance is the resistance that exists for a practical diode. For a practical diode is represented with a diode in series with the forward resistance. This ideal diode is the one which you will represent a simple diode with zero resistance or no resistance. This type of diode is called ideal diode. Ideal diode which won't exist practically. Practically we will be discussing more on the practical diode only. The ideal diode is the one which is ideal, just like an ideal person. Ideal person never exists in practical life. In an ideal diode, current flow will freely through the device when forward bias having no resistance. In an ideal diode, there will be no voltage drop across it when it is forward bias. That is, VD is equal to 0.7, VD is equal to 0.3. Those things will be neglected in the ideal diode. In the ideal diode, all of the source voltage would be dropped across the circuit resistors. All the source voltage will be dropped across the circuit resistor. And in an ideal diode, when reverse bias, it would have infinite resistance. Infinite resistance is nothing but a complete open circuit and nothing but zero current. These are the characteristics of an ideal diode. And practical diode, which we have discussed in the previous PPT. Practical diodes are those like silicon or germanium, which are available practically, having some certain forward as well as reverse voltage. The ideal diode forward resistance, sorry, in reverse bias it will be having infinite resistance, whereas for practical it will be high resistance. That is the difference. Here, almost magnitude is 0, current will be flowing in reverse bias. Here, very microamperes or less amount of current will be flowing. That is a simple difference between practical and ideal diodes. Now, regarding special diodes, first we will be discussing on not G0 diode, because in order to understand G0 diode, before that we will be studying the easier ones. Let us come to LED. So it's 1 p.m. We will continue from LED in the next class. Thank you.